We are told that love is a balm, a sanctuary from life's storms. But what if love is the wound, not the cure? Sometimes love shatters us, leaving invisible scars that linger long after the world expects us to move on. This is a story about that kind of love, the kind that arrives like a miracle and leaves like a thief, hollowing out hope. The strongest among us, the healers, are not immune to breaking. When their world collapses, they forget how to ask for help. Heartbreak is a peculiar grief. No funeral, no mourning, just the loss of a future that will never be. You mourn the person you thought you knew, and the person you were before. Let's talk about the unseen wound. The quiet desperation after love becomes the question, not the answer. This isn't a story with a happy ending, but a messy, complicated truth of what happens when love breaks. Sometimes the person meant to save you is the one you need saving from. And the journey back to yourself can feel impossible when you're lost in the aftermath. Clara spent 25 years as a nurse, comforting thousands, always the healer. Her identity was built on caring for others, her patients, her family, her friends. But after her quiet, painful divorce, her house became silent, her purpose uncertain. Her children grown, her husband gone, Clara was left with a void her work couldn't fill. At 52, she was adrift, surrounded by people but profoundly alone. She was always the one to fix, to give, to be strong. Now there was no one left to heal, least of all herself. Her days were structured, her work meaningful, but the facade crumbled at home. Evenings stretched into emptiness. The strong nurse dissolved into a woman haunted by loss. She ate alone, watched TV for company, and dreaded the nights. Sleep brought no escape, only memories of a life that was no longer hers. Clara was a professional at mending bodies, but she had no idea how to mend her own broken life. The healer was lost, unsure who she was without someone to save. She had always been needed, now she was just Clara, and she didn't know how to be that. Then, Marcus appeared, charming, genuine, and interested in her, not her wounds. For the first time in years, Clara felt seen. Their first date was a simple walk, conversation flowing easily. Marcus listened, asked about her dreams, and treated her past as just a chapter. Hope stirred, a fragile thing but alive. Marcus brought color back into her world. New restaurants, concerts, little notes that made her heart flutter. He admired her strength, called her his hero. Clara, always the comforter, was finally being cared for. She let her guard down piece by piece and fell in love. Cooking together, laughing, she realized this was what she'd been missing. Marcus felt like a second